Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, LiveLoveCrochet. So today we're going to be making one of these hats. So there is the pattern, which is very nice. So I've made this hat in 3 different sizes. So you can have it where the rib folds back, or you can have it just as a standard hat. These two are baby size, 0 to 3 and 3 to 6, and this one is for a child, an older child. I would say from 2 to 5 years. So if you would like to make one of these hats with me, let's go find out what we will need. Okay, so for this tutorial we're going to need a 4mm hook. We're going to need a pair of scissors, a needle to sew in your tails, a tape measure. I'm going to be working in inches today. Now this is optional, you don't have to use one of these. This is what I'm using today. So this is a Forks pom-pom. So I bought these off Amazon. It wasn't very expensive. I think I bought 20 for £10. And if you're using a pom-pom, we need a button as well. I will show you how to fix those onto the hat. And the yarn that I'm using today is Bonus DK, 100 grams, and the shade is in Violet. This is 100% acrylic. So we're not going to be using much of this yarn. I am going to be showing you how to make a 0 to 3 hat. So this one right here, this is the hat that we're going to be making. If you want the measurements for a bigger size, drop me a comment down below and I will give you the measurements. So with this hat we are going to be working from the bottom up. So if you want your hat like this, we are going to be measuring the total hat, the total length of the hat from the bottom to the top. If you want your hat to be folded over, you will make your measurements from the bottom of the ribbon upwards. If you're folding your ribbon over, you don't count your ribbon in with it. I hope that's clear. So I'm going to be making one that is not folded. So as I said, if you're making it to be folded, you don't measure your ribbon. So the measurement of the length of the hat is 4.5 inches to 6 inches. So I didn't measure my ribbon when I made this one. So I made this one around about 5.5 inches. The length of the ribbon is 13 to 14 inches, and that is all the way around. So if I measure one side here, that measures 6, so my whole hat measures 12. So with the ribbon, what you do is you take 2 inches off the original size. So 13 to 14 inches original size, take 2 from that is 12 or 11, and I've gone for 12. So when we do our ribbon at the start, we're going to take off 2 inches. So I'm going to do 12 inches, which is 46 ribs. So these are, I have 46 ribs going around. So I will now show you how to do it. So if you would like to get your yarn. Okay, so we have our yarn. I've put my slip knot on. We're now going to chain 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. We're going to turn our chain, so we're looking at the back, and we are going to make our single crochets into these straight bits of chain here, as you can see. So we're going to skip the first one and we're going to go into the second right here and make a single crochet. We're then going to go into the next and make a single crochet, into the next, single crochet, going to make single crochets until we get to the bottom. So I now have 9 single crochets. I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to turn my work, and I'm going to make single crochets into the back loop only. So I have 9 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Chain 1, turn your work, ignore your loop, go into your first stitch here and single crochet into the back loop only. Just like that. Turn your work, and you are going to keep doing this until you have 12 inches. So you should have something that looks like this. So I'm going to show you an easy way of counting your ribs. So if you put your tail the right side, so have it facing the right side of you, and then we're going to count each rib here. We're going to go up in twos, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46. So I have 46 in total. If you would like to, you can count them in one, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you times your end result by 2. So I'm now going to measure it. I am measuring in inches for this one, so I'm just going to lay that flat. So mine is measuring at 12 inches, which is perfect because we needed 13 to 14 inches, but we take 2 inches away because this is quite stretchy and it's going to stretch around the head anyway. So if you stretch it out, that is going to easily be 13 to 14 inches. So that is perfect. We took 2 off, so we ended up with 12 inches. So now I'm going to show you how to slip stitch this together. So we're going to have the tail on the right side still, and we're going to fold them together like this, and we're going to match our stitches up. So I'm going to put my hook back onto my yarn. We're not going to make a chain 1 or anything, so then we're going to put our yarn just over like that, and we're going to find our first stitch to go into. So here is mine right at the top, so I'm going to go through 1 loop only, just like that, and then through the other side I'm going to go through 1 loop only, just like that, and then I'm going to slip stitch, pull through that loop, then I'm going to move on to my next stitch, 1 loop, 1 loop on the other side, catch my yarn, pull through, pull through. Going to move on to my next, and just slip stitching all the way up, just like that. That's what your work should look like. I am at the top now, so what you're going to do when you get to the top is you're going to go through both of the loops on both sides, make a slip stitch, going to move that tail out of the way, and I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to chain 2, sorry, for my first one. So chain 2, and because I had 46 ribs, I'm going to put 46 half double crochets equally around my brim. So half double crochet, yarn over, we're going to go into this stitch right here, into this one. So go into there with the half double crochet, so yarn over, go into your stitch, catch your yarn, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and there is your first half double crochet. The next stitch we're going into is this hole here, half double crochet into there, and then into this stitch right here, so it's just before that hole there, just into there, half double crochet, into the hole, half double crochet. Remember to count your stitches. So I have 44 stitches, I need 2 more to get to 46, so I've got 2 more spaces before my chain 2, so that is where I'm going to put my half double crochets. So 45, and into this last one right here, 46, and then we're going to slip stitch into the second chain, and then you're going to chain 1. So now this is where our pattern begins. So as you can see, we have our stitches there from our half double crochet. So if you turn it to the back right there, so you have your stitches, and then you have this piece of thread here at the back. And take my hook out and show you properly. Okay, so you have your stitches. Just going to flip it a little bit. We are putting half double crochets into these pieces of thread right here, just there. So we're going to get started on that. So we've chained 1. We're not going to turn our work. What we're going to do is get this first one into the right place. So we need it to be coming down here. So we're going to turn our work, yarn over, and you should see your space right here. So right there, we're going to make a half double crochet into that. And then we're going to find our next one. So right here, half double crochet, find your next one, which mine is here, and into the next, then into the next, and that is what we're going to do for the whole round. And as you can see, then your stitches are brought forward just like that. Very nice. So we're just going to keep doing that all the way around. So I've just got one stitch to make, one more stitch, and then I'm going to slip stitch into my first half double crochet. So slip stitch, and then we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do exactly the same. We're going to find the stitch down here where we need to go, like that, make a half double crochet, and then we're going to find every stitch after that and just make a half double crochet into there. And this is all you are going to do until you get to the right length. So from this hat, which is a 0 to 3, it's going to be 5.5 inches, but we're going to take ½ inch off for our decreasing, because we need to decrease at the top. So as I said in the beginning, if you are doing a hat where the brim folds up, we are going to measure our length from the start of the half double crochets. So we need 5 inches from where you started your half double crochets. If you're just having a straight hat, you will measure all of it and do 5.5 inches from here. So measures are around about, let's turn it over to the other side where we've done our other stitches. So it's measuring at 3 inches now. So if you are doing a straight hat, you just need to do another 2 inches, which I think is 4 more rows. That's an estimate. And I have got to, so we're leaving ½ inch off for the decreasing. I have got to do another 4 inches on there. So if you would like to do your length, and then we will get started on our decreasing. So I have just finished my length of my hat, which I did 5 inches. Now for the other 1/2 inch I'm going to be doing my decreasing. So we're going to start with a chain 1, and then we're going to start decreasing, which is 3 rows. The first row is going to be 3 half double crochets and then a decrease. So find that first stitch and make a half double crochet into the next, make a half double crochet into the next, half double crochet, and now into the next 2 we are going to decrease. So to decrease, you're going to yarn over, you're going to go into your next stitch, catch your yarn, pull through. You will have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2. You'll have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, go into your next stitch, catch your yarn, pull through. You will have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 4, and there is your half double crochet decrease. And then we're going to half double crochet into the next 3. So 1, 2 and 3. Then we're going to make a decrease. And then we're going to keep going like that. So when you get to the end, you're going to finish, you're going to slip stitch into the first half double crochet like you have been all the way up. Next row you're going to do 2 half double crochets and then a decrease, and for the final row you're going to do 1 double crochet and a decrease, and I will meet you when we're at the end of that 3rd row. So I've just finished the decreasing. So I did my 3 rows of decreasing, and as you can see it's come in a little bit. So now this is where the magic happens. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, and we're going to leave a long tail so we can sew around this part here. So I'm just going to take a bit of yarn and cut it. Then I'm going to pull that out, and then I'm going to put my needle on. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our needle through each loop, just like that, into the next loop. So you get little swirls at the top, so into the next. So keep going round, and I will meet you right at the end where you started. So I have come back around. I'm just going to put one more right here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get this thread right here, and we're just going to pull and that is going to bring the top of our hat together. So I'm just going to pull, just like that. So just like that, and then we need to close this hole and secure our yarn. So I'm just going to give it a really good pull. As you can see, the hole goes very small. So all we need to do now is just to sew this together a little bit. So I'm just going to pick up a few stitches that side and a few stitches that side, just like that, and I'm going to pull that. My yarn is a little too long now, so I'm just going to cut that down a little bit. So all we are doing is just sewing together wherever possible. Try and keep it in this ring here. So as you can see, it is closing up. So I'm just going to put a few more stitches in it. Just like that. And now I am going to secure my yarn. I'm just going to go through a few stitches. So that. And I'm just going to go back through a few more just to secure it that a little bit more. Okay, so that looks good to me. I'm going to cut my yarn, and now if you turn it inside out, there is your pattern. Okay, so there is the hat. For those of you that want to know how to do this, just keep watching and I will show you. So for this part, we're going to turn our hat back inside out, and what you're going to do is right next to this hole that you've just sewn, you are going to sew on a button just like that. Now I'm going to sew my button off camera because it'll be very difficult to sew it under the camera here. So I'm just going to go sew my button and then I will show you what to do. So just put your button right by the hole. Okay, so I've sewn in my button, and it's going to help if you've got one of the, like a smaller crochet hook. I'm going to be using a 3mm just so we can pull the pom-pom through, because you get this little elasticy thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that through there, through the right side. Just going to turn my hat just so I can see. So I'm going to be putting mine here. I'm going to put my crochet hook through this hole through the hole that we sewed into. There's still a little hole there. Okay, and then you just get your elastic, put it on your hook, and just pull it through this hole, just like that. And then what we're going to do is just stretch it over our button, just like that, and then our pom-pom is fixed on. So that is my hat finished. I have got a tail here to sew in, so you should have this tail too. So what we're going to do is just sew it into a few of our stitches here. Just sew it through. Just like that, nice and neat. I'm going to snip it, and that is my hat done. So there it is. I really like this colour, I think it is so nice. So I hope you've enjoyed making this with me. It is very, very cute. I think the pom-pom just makes the whole hat look even better. So if you've enjoyed making this with me, please subscribe and like this video, and I will see you in my next tutorial. Bye.